On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And the cops are out.
The cops are out in full force in your neighborhood.
They sure are, and we are the official neighborhood watch, you guys.
We sure are.
Somebody just tried to turn my neighbor's house into a fucking drive-thru.
Oh my God, how fucking scary.
So scary. Madison and I were out running our little errands, doing our little things. We're driving down towards my neighborhood, and I will say, out of every place I've ever lived, this is like the least police activity neighborhood I've lived in.
Right.
And we see like fire trucks, and we see all these police cars, and we're like, what's going on?
What is going on?
We like pull in my driveway so fucking fast. We put Hot Dog's leash on her, and we're like out.
We gotta go for a walk.
Yeah, we're like, oh, just taking my dog on this walk. And we walk by this house, and there's a fucking car in the house. It is in the house almost. It was crazy.
It's insane. It's like my biggest fear, but that's a corner house. That's what happens.
Yeah, you better be careful.
I know. My house is on a corner. I know.
On the corner.
Scary.
The price you pay.
Could you imagine?
Oh, if somebody drove into my house, I don't even know what I'd do.
Well, and then the tow truck got there, and we were like gonna stand there and watch him because we kept trying to figure out how the hell.
Yeah, I'm like, how are they gonna get it from like the house back to the end of the driveway?
Yeah.
Speaking of police, speaking of jail, I've been in Instagram jail. Did you know this? Have we talked about this?
No.
So I posted a picture of me driving and said like might run him over or something, like just on my stories.
Well, I didn't see it.
Well, because within seconds Instagram pulled it down and they were like, your account could be banned because I made a joke about running guys over with your car, which I'm like,
oh no,
probably on a list somewhere now.
You probably are. Maybe it's a good thing that you're banned.
No, I'm just trying to be productive because that's kind of just our thing right now. Can't wait to see what Nextdoor has to say about the whole car drama.
I can't believe you're not on there.
Here's the thing. I have been nervous about it, and one of my anxieties lately is that anytime an email comes up from Nextdoor, I have this quick thought where I'm like, what if they're talking about me? Oh, and it'll be something like, this man came by my house at 6 p.m. today. Because, it just shows you in the emails, just like the beginning portion of it. And I'm always like, what if it's me? What if they're talking about me? I don't fucking...
Whose houses were you going to?
No one's.
Yeah.
No one's. But I have this fear that like, what if I did that and I don't remember?
I get it. I get nervous that people think I may be living on the streets when I'm walking my dogs because of what I wear. Like my outfits are wild.
This homeless guy is over at my front door. What?
God, but haven't been on Nextdoor yet.
Not yet. New activity alert. I bought a sewing machine.
I'm so jealous. I want to sew too.
Well.
Or at least I'm going to bring stuff over here.
Please let me practice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm wearing a sweater today and I'm like, I wish I would have gotten it in a smaller size. And you're like, well, you can bring it over here. I'll take it in for you. I'm like, oh.
I mean, it might not have an arm afterwards. But,
it might be a skirt when I'm done with it. But
well, no, because, okay, so I went to the flea market, which I frequent. And over the past couple of years, especially, I've bought a lot of like vintage patches. And it's always this idea like, I'm going to put these on, this jacket. Or I have so many like vintage jackets too that I'm like, oh, this would be cool. But then I just never do it because the problem is that a lot of the the patches are vintage themselves, so they don't have like the adhesive on them to iron them on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can buy that, but I was like reading all these reviews about that I was looking into fabric glue, and everyone basically, like all the profesh people online were like, just fucking sew it on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the normal response to that would be like, okay, I'm going to just buy like a needle and some thread and just sew it on. Not me. I'm like, new hobby. I bought the fucking sewing machine and I bought every fucking color thread. And then I bought because I bought this one really cool patch that's from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is like one of my favorite places. And I bought like a Dickies kind of gas station jacket, you know?
Uh-huh.
That's my big project, but I'm not going to start with that because I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah. The thing about hand sewing, okay, remember our live show that we had to cancel twice?
Yes.
Well, I made an outfit for that. You saw it. It turned out really cool. But I started with hand sewing.
Uh-huh.
I was hand sewing like a bunch of fringe and some like decals and stuff on it. And I even dyed the fabric. Like I was in it.
You'll get a chance to wear that.
Yes. But halfway through, I'm like, I'm not fucking sewing. I don't want to see a needle or a thread ever again in my life. And I started E6000 gluing shit.
Uh-huh.
I was like, no one's going to see it. I'm going to be on stage.
I know.
So a sewing machine would have come in handy.
I just get in habits sometimes where I think I'm going to do something, but I feel like sewing is a useful skill.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be my newest practice. So if you have any tips out there, please let me know, because this guy cannot.
You know, in home ec, we had to learn how to sew. I, for some reason, would stand and sew. And I remember my teacher was like, do you know anybody that drives a car and stands? And I was like, well, garbage truck guys, don't they? Like garbage men?
Yeah.
So fuck you, lady.
Yeah.
Or a sewing machine would have been great in the fucking punker days because we were safety pinning our jeans.
God, right? When we were trying to be little gutter punks, there was like this one girl I knew who was like the one who did it. And all the guys would bring their fucking jeans to her and just have her sew them.
The amount of safety pins I probably went through. Because remember, you would flip them inside out.
Yeah.
Safety pin them as skinny as you could.
Yeah.
And then flip them right side out and wear them.
Uh-huh.
Insane.
Well, now the whole trend is to not wear skinny jeans. And okay.
Yeah, no skinny jeans.
So last night I was out with our friend Sabia and I went to this restaurant called Olivia in like Koreatown.
Uh-huh.
Food was delicious, really good pizzas and stuff. And then afterwards we were going to go to this place. I think it's called Stay. It's that new bar. Have you heard of this? It's like the non-alcoholic cocktail bar.
Yes.
Okay, so we were going to go there, and that's in Chinatown over by like Burger Lords and stuff. And so we were going to go there, but they were not open because it was a Wednesday night. And so we're like, oh, fuck. And we ended up going into this place next door to it, and we're upstairs, and it is a bar, but then it starts getting kind of a club vibe to it.
Is the disco ball you sent?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I texted Madison. I was like, I don't know what's going on right now. But she was like, I'm trying to kind of pick up on the vibe. And she's like, are these people younger than us or older than us? And I was like, I think they're probably like our age or older because they're wearing skinny jeans.
It shows your age.
Uh-huh.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I won't wear them anymore because I have a little sister who's 19 and she is like my go-to resource for anything young. And like, I'm not trying to be fucking,
No, I ask
cool.
my niece stuff. I'm like, is this cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to embarrass myself.
No. My God.
No.
Skinny jeans? No way.
God.
You can't.
No.
You can't boot cut.
Uh-huh.
You can wear, right?
Sure.
Are side parts okay again or no? I have the deepest side part right now.
But that's like a vintage side part. It's different.
Yeah.
That's a look.
Okay.
You know?
All right. And now the mob wife aesthetic is like...
Yeah, it's mob wife aesthetic.
Clean girl is out.
Clean girl is out.
And the other night we were watching Big Ange.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I had a friend over and pulled up the TV to watch something, and Big Ange was on. And I was
What'd they say?
They're like, Big Ange, huh? Like, yeah. I think I called it out first, actually. I think I was like, and that's Big Ange. Anyways, next.
God, God, rest in peace, girl.
Rest in peace.
But that voice, man. And her friends fucking encouraged her to drink and smoke. She was trying to not.
I know.
We need to finish that season tonight.
Yeah, it's a good one. The episodes are 12 minutes long, so it's perfect for me.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I think that's about all the updates on the home front. Should we get into it?
Yes, we should. Instead of a listener email today, I have an article that so many people have sent us that I wanted to read. Have you heard about the man who lived with his deceased wife in an RV for 6 years?
No, I sure haven't.
Okay, this is going around right now. This particular article is from KCTV5. It's fucking wild, Spence. It says, Columbiana County, Ohio. After a man from Ohio died several days before the new year, deputies said they discovered that he had been living with his deceased wife in an RV for the past 6 years. According to the Columbiana County Sheriff's Office, a relative came to the department on January 1st to report that Peggy Ray, who had passed away in 2017, was inside of an RV located on the family's farm.
Jesus.
The family member said Peggy Ray's husband, Robert Ray, had been living in the RV with his wife's body up until his passing a few days prior. Deputies responded to the residence, where they found Peggy Ray's body in an RV behind a barn. Robert Ray had failed to report her passing, according to the family member, and took care of her remains himself for 6 years, leading up to his death. The sheriff's office said they discovered both Peggy and Robert were devout Quakers and wanted to be buried at the same time.
Aww.
The coroner's office responded to the residence, where the remains were confirmed to be 6 years old.
Did she die of natural causes?
I believe so.
Well,
I don't know if there's any updates on it. I believe, yeah, that he probably was just keeping her body. I mean, we've talked about stories like that where the grief is too much to bear.
Take her on a road. Take her for a spin, baby.
Mm-hmm. They wanted to be buried.
No, he wanted to get through that carpool lane.
He wanted to go into your neighbor's house, honey, with her.
Full circle, and that's who it was.
We are just a bunch of assholes.
Oh, we sure are, Madison. Congratulations on that beautiful transition. Let's talk about some assholes. This first one says, am I the asshole for telling my son his girlfriend had been careless and selfish while attending her funeral?
Ooh, okay.
My husband and I, 53 and 56, have a son, 25, who had been going out with a girl, 30, for about a year and a half. This girl came from a broken background, had been in prison, and had an infant son. She'd gotten herself together before he was born and got clean. While her child didn't belong to my son, he's always treated him like his own. Although the situation was pretty complex, I just wanted to support my baby. Our son still lives with us, while his girlfriend and her boy live in a place their family owns. Not long ago, I was doing housework when I got a call from my son. He was a mess and told me that his girlfriend had passed away. Apparently, she had gotten into the shower while drunk, fell, and died as a result of the fall.
Ooh.
This was during a time where she had been supposed to be caring for her boy. My son had gone over, he has a key, and found her, as well as her boy, still stuck in his high chair in the kitchen, starving. I'm sure you can imagine, but I was extremely shocked, and that was followed by a feeling of intense anger for what her baby had gone through.
Right.
None of us knew she drank anymore, and apparently this was her relapsing. Come to the day of the funeral, and I see my son holding his girlfriend's son's little hand, and I was just so emotionally wounded for them. After the service, I approached my son, and I told him how upset I was, and that his girlfriend was selfish for relapsing and doing what she did with her baby there, and that she had been careless to get so blind drunk she ended up falling. My son was mad, and since then, some of my family felt like I overreacted. I want to say that I didn't scream and yell at the whole funeral or refuse to go. It was just that moment where I let him in on my emotions. He hasn't spoken to me yet since, and I want to know, am I the asshole?
I think it's an asshole thing to say something like that at someone's funeral. And I understand addiction is so fucking complicated. You know, I'm sure she never wanted that to happen or to ever put her child in danger. However, I think underneath anger is hurt. And so, or like scared. And I would probably feel the same way as her.
Yeah, I think it's like a keep it to yourself. Or it's not the right time.
Yeah, not at her funeral.
The writer was voted an asshole, and one commenter wrote, how selfish do you have to be to stand there while everyone is grieving? And your first thought is, I better make sure my baby, a grown man, knows knows exactly how I feel about his girlfriend and her choices. Honest to God, you're a gross human being for doing what you did. Addiction is a terrible, terrible thing. And what her son has had to endure as a result of her actions is incredibly sad. And I hope that he has a family who will care for him. However, there is a time and a place for everything, nor was your opinion asked for or wanted in that moment. You're allowed to feel however you want about her lifestyle and how it impacted her accidental death, but deciding to tell your son what a fuck up his girlfriend was at her funeral is probably one of the most callous, insensitive things I've heard in a long time. Another wrote, what the hell did you think saying that would accomplish?
That's true.
What were you trying to prove? That you're better than her because you haven't struggled with addiction or depression or crime? Do you know what causes those things? Mental health, brain chemistry, depression, anxiety, childhood trauma, sexual abuse, psychological, physical, or emotional abuse, sometimes all of the above. Congratulations that you had a great life and those things did not befall you. Or if they did, you were wired a different way and didn't struggle. Wow, you're a fucking gem. My condolences to your son and this poor little boy who lost his wounded and struggling mama.
Yeah.
My heart is with them. I wish yours was as well, but apparently you have none. So people were really...
I think that's being too ruthless on her. That's her son.
It's her son. Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, she's sitting here though, you have to picture. She's sitting here writing this because she wants people to... Most of the time, I feel like people write in because they want people to validate their side of the story.
Yeah,
right?
no, I get it. She was wrong. She was absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
But I get if
Like,
that
I get
was my son, I'd be like, what the fuck?
But it's like you would call me and say, what the fuck? You wouldn't be at this 30-year-old girl's funeral and be like...
Totally.
Like, I can't believe she would do that.
And
like,
two things can be true at once,
Yeah.
you know? Like, she could be really sad for this girl who struggled, and she can also be angry, but at a funeral, not the time or place.
Yeah. Okay, well, this next asshole says, am I the asshole for leaving my wife at home with 3 kids while I travel to go to a funeral? I got mixed messages leading up to and taking the flight to attend my grandfather's funeral, and now I'm getting regular phone calls containing guilt trips and venting. My wife and I have 3 sons under the age of 3. Jesus. My grandfather passed away and the funeral is in a different state. We are not in a situation where I can take the whole family. I didn't think I could go in the beginning. The stress of one person taking care of 3 young kids plus the financial burden of traveling seemed like too much. When I mentioned I wasn't going, she insisted I do. I tried to express why, but was interrupted and encouraged to go. She said the cost was equivalent to a trip to a bulk food store and she would rally the troops and get the help needed. I talked to my in-laws about this and they also encouraged me to go. They said they will help as much as they can while I was away, like help with the kids. After 2 days of debating, I bought the cheapest flight I could find. It was for 4 nights. My wife was standing next to me and reviewed the itinerary before I purchased the tickets. And a few hours later, my wife started to stress about what it means to watch 3 kids without my help. The next day, she has an emotional breakdown, asked me how I could be going for 4 nights. Why couldn't I spend 3 times as much to just go for 2 nights? She told me I probably because the cost of the flights, it was probably cheaper on the days or whatever.
Right.
She told me I was not thinking about her and the kids when I purchased the tickets. I said I understood and I'm willing to cancel the flights. She insisted I still go. I was unable to consider the rescheduling the flights. I couldn't justify the cost. We could not take on more debt. I talked to my in-laws and asked them whether I should go or cancel my flights, and they acknowledged the burden put on my wife, but encouraged me to go. They said they would help my wife as much as they could. 48 hours before my flight, I asked my wife, are you sure I should go? And she insisted I go, and also said I was still not thinking about her. At one point, I considered it a no-win situation and went on the flight. Now that I'm here, I have received multiple phone calls a day with my wife, which entails her venting about how hard it is and asking why I had to be gone for 4 nights. She's now questioning our marriage and asking whether I still love her. Am I the asshole?
That was exhausting
Your
to
wife
hear about.
Is a fucking nut job,
A
dude.
fucking nut job. You suck it up and you let your husband go. What the fuck? I can't even. I can't.
What would you do if he died?
Yeah, that's a real thing. Oh God, I'm tired of that.
She's
Hearing that.
exhausting, right?
I know. That's
And if someone died.
emotional, like these games.
Uh-huh.
Weird. She's the asshole.
Yeah, get help.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm actually up first this week. Do you got a side bitch for us?
I sure do. This is from the Carbon County News.
Okay.
July 1958. Funeral services will be held at 9 a.m. Friday in the Catholic Church for Mrs. Emile Vagina, 65, who died Tuesday. She had been ill since June 14th. Mrs. Vagina was born January 8th.
Is that real?
It's real.
Fuck. Mrs. Vagina.
She was married October 5th, 1920 to Emil Vagina. She and her husband, Mr. Vagina, died July 18th. Is that not the most unfortunate last name? Mrs. Vagina is survived by a daughter and 2 sons, Robert Vagina and Edward Vagina.
That's crazy.
Okay, I have a better one. Sorry. I pulled 2 just because I knew that one would probably be crazy.
No, that's just please.
Okay. Harry Beaver, son of the late Mr. and Mrs. Jerome Beaver of Clay Hill. These are real. This one's from 1927.
What's his name?
It says county native is killed when he falls off wagon. Harry Beaver, son of the late Mr. and Mrs. Jerome Beaver of Clay Hill, was instantly killed yesterday morning in Dixon, Illinois, when his neck was broken.
Not Harry Beaver dying in Dixon. Shit.
Was broken in a fall from a load of hay. Harry Beaver was aged 56 years old and left here 30 years ago. The news of his death received by his brother, G.W. Beaver of Lincoln Way West, yesterday was the first the family has heard of him since he left home. He is survived by 1 daughter, Mrs. W.E. Shope, and 3 brother, Clarence Beaver, Jacob Beaver, and G.W. Beaver. Internment will be made at Dixon.
That's enough. I need a break. We'll be right back.
And we're back from our Harry Beaver break. What had you spinning this week, Spence?
I'm coming a little out of left field in my coffin this week, okay?
What?
Yep, Madison, you know I am a lefty.
You are a lefty.
And there's always statistics rolling around about left-handed people in relation to death. So I decided to do a little investigating and see just how true these rumors are. Do left-handed people have a shorter life expectancy? And if so, why?
Okay, I'd like to hear this.
It led me down a rabbit hole, to say the least. Several times, as I mentioned, I've come across these like posts. It'll be a tweet or whatever that's like 2,500 left-handed people die per year from errors caused by using products designed for right-handed people. Mm-hmm. And it's always that number. It's always that kind of idea. And it just never made a lot of sense to me because other than certain like power tools and stuff, I'm like pretty much everything is pretty interchangeable.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What can you think of that's not?
I guess I haven't really thought that hard about it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of an airplane or driving. Driving.
No.
Okay.
So that claim has never been verified, and claims about left-handed people having a lower life expectancy rate is based on some pretty faulty studies and research. According to Roland Yo, PhD, a professor of psychology at the University of Texas, Austin, scientists aren't exactly sure why some people are left-handed, but they know that genes are responsible about 25% of the time. In 2015, Gina Grimshaw, PhD director of the Cognitive and Affective Neuroscience Laboratory at the University of Wellington in New Zealand, told CNN that scientists long suspected that being left-handed was somehow related to immune function and that it may be a risk factor for an autoimmune disorder. But research has not been able to back up most of these claims, says Grimshaw, and that theory has been largely debunked. Both Gina Grimshaw and Ronald Yo seem to agree that regarding health and personality traits, being left or right-handed hasn't scientifically been proven to make a notable difference either way.
I will say all of the smart people that I know are left-handed. I mean, I don't mean to blow your head up, but you're smart and you're left-handed, and my dad is left-handed.
Thank you. Me and Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all the claims that left-handed people die sooner than right-handed people, which is something I feel like a lot of people have probably heard that statistic before. Mm-hmm. It all really stems from a series of articles that were published in the 80s and 90s that were based on the findings of American psychologists Diane Halpern and Stanley Coren. They've fully debunked this now, but there's in Article 137 of the Archives of Public Health, Help, they say that in 1991, Halpern and Corin claimed that left-handed people die 9 years younger than right-handed people. Most subsequent studies did not find support for the difference in age of death or its magnitude, primarily because of the realization that there have been historical changes in reported rates of left-handedness. In 1989, 2,019,512 individuals died, of which 6% were reportedly left-handed based on concurrent annual handedness reporting. However, it's widely believed that cultural pressures may have caused an underestimation of the true rate of left-handedness. Using a simulation that assumed no age of death difference between left-handed and right-handed individuals in this cohort and adjusting for the reported rates of left-handedness, we found that left-handed individuals were expected to die 9.3 years earlier than their right-handed counterparts due to changes in the rate of left-handedness over time. They ended with saying, in conclusion, we found that the changing rate of left-handedness has reporting over the years entirely explains the original reported observation of the 9-year difference in life expectancy. So basically, because so much fewer people were reporting that they were left-handed back in the day, that contributes to them thinking that it's like an oddity regarding the actual age they died.
It sounds like it's like a pseudoscience kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been debunked so many times. In 2013, Chris McManus, who's a professor and the author of a book called Right Hand, Left Hand, spoke about this 9-year study, saying it's not at all plausible. If this was true, it would be the largest single predictor we had of life expectancy. It would be like somebody smoking 120 cigarettes a day, plus doing a number of other dangerous things simultaneously. It's really highly implausible that an epidemiologist wouldn't have spotted this prior to like the 80s and 90s. It just doesn't make sense. But I was dying reading about this. I ended up on this one website called The Minds Journal. It said 32 cool and amazing facts about left-handed people.
Okay.
But number 7 on the list was they hit puberty late. It's like, wow.
Is that true?
Cool and amazing. I don't think so. I don't know if I had that experience. I was trying to think, like, when did puberty happen? Like, I feel like for guys, it's probably not as much of a...
When did you start getting hair down there?
Well, yeah, but I don't really remember that. I feel like for women, having your period or something is such like people know when it happened. They usually
4th of July before my 13th birthday, the 4th of July. And my birthday's July 27th, so I was almost 13. And I was at my crush's house because at his house, he'd had a bunch of people over because they would shut down his street for a parade. And I looked and it was there. And I was freaked out.
She's putting the red in red, white, and blue, baby. Okay. A lot of the claims about left-handed people, like people think they have like more health conditions. People think that they die sooner. And a lot of it is based on bias. It's kind of mentioned earlier, like because people used to not want to be left-handed. They thought it was a bad thing. And there's actually a really great post on massmutual.com from Shelley Giganti, published last August, that references some of the bias towards left-handed people. I keep using the word bias. I'm like, imagine I just make it my whole fucking personality. You go on my Instagram tomorrow and my bio's like left-handed. Like, No, but really, I feel like all of us probably have some relatives, especially if they went to Catholic school, that were forced.
Why was I picturing nuns hitting kids with a ruler? Like, use your right hand.
They're like, left hand is of the devil, honey. Well, okay, Shelley writes about that phenomenon on this website, saying, quote, indeed, left-handed folks today are widely regarded as more creative and in some circles more clever than their right-handed peers, but such was not always the case. Quote, for thousands of years, southpaws, which is what a left-handed person's called, were vilified as unholy, linked to various learning disabilities and implicated in a range of behavioral and mental health conditions. Lefties are still referred to as sinistral in the scientific community, a term derived from the Latin word sinister, meaning of the left.
Checks out.
And that's why the Democrats, honey, they're on the left.
They're sinister.
They are sinning, honey, sure as shit. Okay, well, as recently as the 1960s, in fact, children who displayed tendencies towards left-handedness in the American public school system were corrected and forced to write or eat with their their right hand.
Ugh.
It's just interesting to think about. I like called my sister immediately. I'm like, because she had Leo, like my nephew, and I was like, is Leo left or right-handed? I was like, I want to know. She thinks he's right-handed.
Okay.
But he's still fucking like 9 months old. So
Yeah.
But I have some interesting facts and debunking on left-handers from a CNN report. Some of these I had just never heard of before. So I guess a lot of people think that if you are left-handed, you have a tendency to drink more, which in my case,
this is why you're sober.
I sure did.
Yeah.
But it says many studies have suggested that lefties drink more than righties, but scientists weren't sure why. They guessed that the unusual way lefties use the two sides of their brains made them more prone to alcoholism, or that lefties just drank more to deal with the stress of being a minority in a right-handed world.
Oh, please.
Don't look at me. So a 2011 study published in the British Journal of Psychological Health examined the issue on a large scale using self-reported data from more than 27,000 people. And they found that left-handers did tend to drink more often, but mainly because they were less likely to drink rarely, less than once a month, or not at all. In other words, lefties weren't more likely to binge drink or become alcoholics. There's no reason to believe that it's associated with excessive alcohol consumption or risky drinking, the authors wrote. They make better fighters, apparently, left-handed people.
Okay.
In a 2005 French study, researchers found that Southpaws made up just 3% of the population in the most peaceful primitive societies, but 27% in the most warlike ones. Why? Well, it goes back to the idea that lefties have a physical advantage over righties. In violent societies, researchers theorize that left-handers benefit from their unexpected left hook.
Okay. I was thinking about
Like boxing or...
Well, no, sports. My sister's husband, who played for the major leagues, was a left-handed pitcher, but I think he writes right-handed.
Well, it's like growing up, like I rode Goofy, like on like snowboarding and stuff or skateboarding.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the only time it made a big difference. Or like when I was little, I feel like golfing was a little different.
Okay. I wonder about tennis.
I don't know, because I feel like I use both hands pretty equally for everything.
Okay, well, what do you use?
No. We ain't that kind of podcast. One for the guy on the left, one for the guy on the right. Okay. But no.
Switch it up and do your right hand and it feels like a different person.
It's called the stranger. Or is that when you sit on your hand to make it numb and then I don't know. Left-handed people are statistically better at sports.
Oh, okay.
And it's also linked to a lot of mental health problems. People who are left-handed are at a greater risk of psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia, according to a 2013 Yale University study. When researchers polled patients at a mental health clinic, 40% of those with schizophrenia or schizoaffective said they wrote with their left hand. That's considerably higher than the 10% of lefties found in the general population. Studies have also found links between non-right-handedness and dyslexia, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and some mood disorders.
Honey, you are checking the boxes.
I'm gonna check your fucking box. Cut it out.
Hey, I'm right-handed and I still ended up in the fucking loony bin.
And also, this was really interesting. It's more common in twins. It says identical twins are sometimes mirror images of each other. One twin has a mole on her right cheek. The other has the mole in the same spot on the left cheek, for instance.
Oh, that's cool.
It was once believed that twins' genetic makeup should be mirrored as well. Therefore, one twin should be left-handed and the other should be right. It was also once thought that all left-handed people started out as twins and that their righty siblings died in the womb.
Oh, no.
But apparently that's not true. Left-handedness is about twice as common in twins than the general population, though. In 1996, a Belgian study found out that 21% of twins, both fraternal and identical, are left-handed. So, long story short, next time you see someone posting a fucking Twitter thread or TikTok about why left-handed people are gonna die sooner, you can tell them to shove it.
Shove it up.
Flip them off with both fingers.
Yeah.
Loud and proud, baby.
Okay, well, so now we know.
Now we know.
So you're not going to die earlier.
No, and I was actually like excited for this episode, even as a left-hander, because I was like, you know what? I want to know what right-handed objects have killed left-handed people, but
there's nothing.
No.
All a scam.
So sorry, enemies. Looks like my lifespan is just as good as yours.
Ooh, okay. Well,
Go write a note about that, fuckers. But we're going to take one more quick break and arm wrestle while we do that. And when we come back,
perfect.
we will find out what had Madison spinning in her coffin this week. We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Daddy's had me spinning this week.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, post-mortem paternity tests had me spinning, to be exact.
Ooh, okay. A little somatic. Remember I did the somatic maternal, like the moms?
That's getting you pregnant.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
This is figuring out who the fucking dad is.
Okay.
Okay, so
Who's the father?
who is your fucking daddy? So, whenever I got to stay home from school sick, I was always so excited to be able to catch an episode of Maury.
Uh-huh.
When I heard you are not the father, my 10-year-old self was so into the fucking drama of it all. I loved it. Loved Maury.
Oh, yeah.
But what if you wanted to prove the paternity of someone who is deceased? What would you do?
I would excavate their body and make them do something.
We'll get into it. Well, this week I researched all of the ways you could prove who your daddy was, even if he was 6 feet under. A paternity test, for those that don't know, is conducted to determine the biological relationship between a father and a child. I know you guys all probably know, but just in case. The most common method used to determine this is through DNA, typically swabbing the inside of your cheek and or a blood test. Then genetic markers are compared between the father and child, and a probability of paternity is calculated. The probability is expressed through a percentage. So, for example, 99% and higher means a pretty solid match and a high probability, whereas a 1% or less is a low probability. To determine the paternity using a corpse is a little different. If a body is recently deceased, you may be able to get a blood sample. However, Spencer, you've actually gone over the stages of decomposition. And once our heart stops beating, our blood stops pumping throughout, our body cools, and your blood will most likely stay in one spot and often coagulate. So getting a blood sample can be pretty difficult and pretty invasive, but it also depends. If we're talking like 6 hours, then it might be easier than 12 hours. I saw on easydna.com that said indirect samples can be used, quote, samples such as a used tissue, a cigarette, or drinking glass. DNA collected from these can be used to prove the paternity of a child, although the sample must be recent. Another problem is the size of the sample. Many such samples do not yield sufficient DNA for accurate comparison.
Huh.
So let's say someone has already been embalmed and their blood has been obviously drained and replaced with chemicals to make them last, I guess, and they've been buried. And also, there were no samples taken during the embalming or samples on record from like a coroner's office or whatever. Well, then you would take DNA samples from things like their hair, teeth, bones, and I also read fingernail clippings to determine their biological relationship. This also means that most likely a body will need to be exhumed, which I'll get to in a second. But I was also thinking about what if someone has been cremated? Are you able to get DNA from cremated remains? And the general consensus that I found was that it is extremely challenging, but it's not impossible. As we know, your typical cremation exposes the body to extremely high heat, which can destroy or damage a lot of DNA. However, an article on top10.com said, quote, the probability of success depends on the percentage of teeth and bone remains in the ashes, which brought me back to your horrible funeral home stories, Spence. And I was like wondering, I wonder if any of the victims of like the Lamb funeral home had their loved ones' ashes DNA tested to determine if they really got the right ashes. I don't even know if I'd want to know at that point, to be honest. I think that would be traumatizing. But it also made me think of when you talked about water cremation, and I wondered if that maybe destroys DNA less. And I looked into it, and I don't think it destroys it as much.
Oh, good to know.
Good to know. But back to exhuming. If you need to have a loved one or someone you think maybe your father exhumed, you have to go through the legal process, and it varies from state to state and country to country, but typically you got to get permission.
Sure.
Right? You'll typically need a court order to have a body exhumed, and then to actually go through with an exhumation is expensive. So you know how we say like there's a job for literally everything?
Yes.
There are companies that their only job is to exhume. And when I Googled exhumation companies, one specific one kept popping up, and they were called the Rowland Brothers Exhumation Services. And I believe they're located in the UK, but they have a really great website that explains the whole process. There's testimonials, their story, there's a bunch of pictures. And on their website's About Us, it says Rowland Brothers are an award-winning and long-established family firm offering exhumation services nationwide since 1971. During this time, we have earned an enviable reputation and a loyal client base. In 1971, Rowland Brothers carried out its first exhumation. We were appointed to exhume a French countess from a London cemetery and move her to France, where she was buried in the private chapel of her chateau. Since then, we have organized many exhumations to and from the UK and countries around the world.
The more you know.
Okay, but anytime I Googled post-mortem paternity test, the first articles that always popped up, and there were a ton of them, were always about Salvador Dali.
Ooh, is there a little scandal going on there?
There's a scandal, so I looked into it. It's wild, Spence. I'm sure most of you know who he is, Salvador Dali. If you don't, he was an iconic Spanish surrealist artist. Whenever I think of him, I think of his painting. It's from 1931, and it's called The Persistence of Memory. But low-key, I didn't know that was the real name because everyone always refers to it as the melting clocks.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, remember, we have a really good friend who worked for the Salvador Dali Foundation.
We do. And then also, one of my girlfriends named her daughter Dolly, but it's spelled
Dali.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that is a cute name.
Also, when I think of him, is I think about his mustache. He
Yeah.
had this like skinny handlebar mustache that he would like spike up, and it was super long. Also, he and Picasso, I was reading, were frenemies, and Picasso refused to even acknowledge him ever again over some like political differences. So there's some art drama there.
Okay.
Anyway, Dali, like most tortured artists, was complex. He was super creative, but also suffered from severe depression. He was playful and flamboyant, but he was also anxious.
Same.
I know, same. He met his wife, Gala, in 1929. She was still married to another man, but she became Dali's muse and model for many of his works. And she ended up leaving her husband in 1934 for Dali, and they remained married for the rest of their lives. Their relationship was also really complex. It was very loving, but also tumultuous. She passed away in 1982, and Dali's health severely declined after that, and he died in 1989 at the age of 84, and they never had kids. In 1974, so 15 years before his death, he helped design a museum that was dedicated to him and all of his famous works. It's called the Dali Theater Museum in Catalonia, Spain. Dali is buried in the museum in a crypt underneath the museum stage. I was watching videos on it, and you can go and visit the museum, and then you see like a simple slab on the floor, and that's his grave.
Interesting.
I know. So you're probably wondering where the fuck I'm going to get into the paternity scandal. Well, right now. So in the early 2000s, a woman named Pilar Abel came out of the woodwork and said that she thought that Salvador Dali was her dad.
Okay.
Pilar, at the time, was a 61-year-old tarot card reader who grew up in the same town as Dali. And she remembers seeing him around town while she was growing up, but she never made contact with him. But she claims that in the 1950s, her mom worked as a maid in Salvador Dali's home, and they ended up having this love affair.
Oh.
And she got pregnant. Her mother eventually told her that she was Dali's daughter. So Pilar goes to court to demand that she was Dolly's only biological child, and proving that would mean that she would inherit a fourth of his millions of dollars that he left behind. I guess Spanish law, you get
A quarter of the estate.
A quarter of the estate. There were a ton of articles about this, but I'm mainly pulling from artsy.net and The Guardian because they were the best ones. But they mentioned that this was not Pilar's first time trying to get money. I guess she sued a writer in 2003 because she claimed that he alluded to her in a novel, and the courts dismissed the case.
So she's just delusional.
I think she's a fucking scammer.
Okay. Let's hear this.
So she goes to court, claims that Dolly is her dad. In 2007, they perform a DNA test on Dolly's death mask, which I found so interesting. You guys should go re-listen to our episode on death masks.
Yes.
But the test came back inconclusive. Next, there was a test done with some medical samples that they had of Dolly's that also came back inconclusive. Well, she wasn't taking inconclusive for an answer.
So it wasn't negative. It was just...
It wasn't negative. It was inconclusive.
Okay.
Then in 2015, she went back to court and demanded that they exhume Dolly's body and get a definitive paternity test that way. The courts actually sided with her, and in July of 2017, Dolly's body was exhumed. And the Guardian.com reported about his exhumation and how his embalmer, Narcisse Bardalet, showed up to the exhumation. Quote, his mustache is still intact.
Hell yeah.
Like clock hands at 10 past 10, just as he liked it. It's a miracle. Dolly is buried in a crypt beneath the museum he designed for himself. His remains were disinterred to help settle a long-running paternity claim from a 61-year-old fortune teller who insists she is his only child.
What a headline.
I know. Bardalet described the moment he had laid eyes on Dolly. His face was covered with a silk handkerchief, a magnificent handkerchief. When it was removed, I was delighted to see his mustache was intact. I was quite moved. You could also see his hair. He said Dolly's body resembled a mummy. It was like wood, adding that it was so hard that experts had to use an electric saw rather than a scalpel to collect bone samples.
Jesus.
Bardalet predicted Dolly's body would last a good while longer. The mustache is still there and will be for centuries, he said. Once the last visitors of the day had left the museum, the 1.5-ton stone slab that rests above his grave was lifted so experts could get to his body to take hair, nails, and 2 large bones. The biological specimens have been taken from Salvador Dali's remains, Catalonia's High Court said in a statement before midnight local time. It said Dolly's coffin had been opened at 10:20 p.m. so work could begin. To guard the artist's posthumous privacy, awnings were put up around the museum to stop drones recording the exhumation. The DNA recovered from the remains will be compared with samples from Maria Pilar Abel, who claims to be the result of a liaison her mother had with Dolly in 1955. Abel has been seeking to prove her parentage for the past 10 years and says the physical resemblance to the surrealist painter is so strong. And I guess she said, the only thing I'm missing is a mustache.
Oh.
So Dolly lost a few bones and nails from the procedure, and his whole crypt was disturbed. He was reinterred after the whole ordeal. So I want to talk to Dolly right now. Dolly, if you're hearing this, I need to speak to you. The DNA test came back.
You are not the father.
Oh, shit. He's not the father.
He's not the father. And that fucking fraud ass lady had to pay for the whole exhumation.
Good.
Bye.
Good.
Crazy.
DNA is fucking wild. And it was
I know.
actually, while you were talking about it, it reminded me. So back sometime like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I covered a case on Cult Leader about this woman named Blanche Kimball. And she was murdered. The way the police arrested this suspect is wild. I think he was living on the streets at the time. Detectives went to Seattle and they set up this sting operation where they were doing a chewing gum survey.
Oh, I feel like I remember this.
And they like set up a table and like paid participants $5 to participate. And they would just like be like, try this gum and then spit it out in this cup. And that was how they collected the DNA to find out who had killed this woman. Like try and match her to the killer.
I love that.
I think I called it like chewing gum and acting dumb. Like I think that was the episode name, but it's a fucking wild story.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
DNA, man, it's fucking wild. And it's going to be even crazier in like years from now. I feel like they're going to be able to take like a skin dust particle and just fucking be able to like match it up. It's wild.
I know. You can't get away with anything.
Oh my God. You want to murder someone? Go back in time. That's what we say.
Go back in time. But that Dolly story makes me mad. I mean, I'm not discounting. Maybe she really did think so and it plagued her, but like...
Well, that's on her mama. Her mom's the asshole for fucking even
know.
telling her that.
They had to saw his body.
I hope they didn't take the hair from his mustache.
No, they didn't.
Okay,
I don't think so.
good.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I bet they wouldn't disturb that.
No, that's unholy.
Unholy.
Crazy.
I know.
God, you are not the father. Incredible. Incredible. Well, should we move on to some obituaries?
Let's do it.
Alrighty. I am up first this week, and I have a scathing obituary. And apparently this was making the rounds on TikTok, and I have no idea why we didn't receive it. It's because Amanda Dennis,
Who's that?
the woman who wrote the obituary,
Okay.
could not get anyone online to host the obituary, I guess. So she
Oh.
shared it on TikTok herself.
Okay.
And it says, I am pleased to announce the passing of Stefan Harold Kandulski at the age of 74. After suffering multiple strokes, one thankfully leaving him unable to speak, the abusive, narcissistic, absentee father, husband, brother, son finally kicked the bucket. He's survived by his daughter Amanda, grandchildren Emma, Doze, Xavier, Jacob, and Lucas, and brother Ed. He is predeceased by his parents, Hilda and Henry Kandulski, and mother of his children, Sandra Kandulski. Because he treated people with disdain, there will be no service. Special thank you to the staff of Penticton Regional Hospital for putting up with this miserable human for so long, the residents and staff at Sunshine Ridge for their support towards his family at this time, and Karma for doing what she does best. In lieu of flowers or donations, just be kind to your fellow humans, spread light and love where you can, and do with your life what this man clearly lacked the ability to do.
Love it.
Love it. Little scather.
Scather. I mean, you know we love those. Those
We
are our
do.
favorite.
Yes.
Okay, but I have a sweet one.
Okay.
For a woman named Ruby, and she just passed away pretty recently on January 24th. But I found her obituary and I just thought it was funny. In loving memory of Ruby, I'm not going to use her real full name. Born on April 5th, 1936 in Arkansas, she was a spirited soul. As the former homecoming queen, she carried herself with the timeless mindset, once a queen, always a queen. Ooh. Outgoing, sassy, and blessed with a great sense of humor, Ruby's vibrant personality left a lasting impression. After graduating, she joined Southwest Bell as a switchboard operator, where she met and later married the love of her life, Ronald, a Tulsa firefighter. Their love endured for 49 and a half years until Ronald's passing. Together, they shared a passion for champion pug breeding, traveling across the U.S. for shows. Her devotion extended to her family, and she never missed a chance to attend their sporting events. Her love for crossword puzzles and daytime TV, especially Court TV, Maury Povich, and Jerry Springer, reflected her appreciation for drama. Above all, Ruby's heart belonged to her family, for whom she held an unwavering love. In her memory, let us celebrate a life well lived and a woman dearly missed.
Aww.
Love her. Little
Sweet Ruby.
I love the once a queen, always a queen.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that she loved Maury and Jerry.
Of course. Incredible. Oh, God. Well, we have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
That must mean it's time for some dumb
Ass
criminals. Why are you laughing?
I like my dumb criminal.
Okay. I like mine too. We've got some drama going on with Cody Clements, the 28-year-old who was arrested
Okay.
after wreaking havoc at his neighborhood Walmart
Oh, no.
in Port Charlotte.
Okay.
According to the Charlotte County's Sheriff's Office, he was arrested. Basically, what happened So somebody calls 911
Okay.
just before 3 p.m. Dispatcher says that this person claimed there was a bomb in Walmart
Oh, no.
before hanging up the phone. The dispatcher calls back. The person who had made the initial call to 911 picks up the phone and says, tick-tock, tick-tock. Hangs up on them. Deputies arrive. They start searching the area, and they locate the owner of the phone, who had accidentally left his phone in a bathroom stall at this Walmart.
God.
I guess this 28-year-old Cody found the phone and decided to call and make the bomb threat from this stranger's phone. And so he ended up getting arrested. When they asked him, they were like, well, he's getting felony fucking charges because you cannot do that. He was detained and questioned, ultimately confessed that he made the 911 call because he had seen someone do something similar on TikTok.
Ugh, scary.
Fucking idiot. Clements was arrested and transported to Charlotte County Jail and has since been released after posting a $15,000 bond and is scheduled to appear in court in February. And the sheriff said threats of any kind will not be tolerated in Charlotte County. And for this individual, I believe he learned that lesson promptly. Dumbass. Who you got?
Okay, so I have a Florida man from 2015. There were a lot of articles written about this, but moron.com, our favorite, reported on this.
Ooh, haven't heard from them in a while.
I know. So basically, a Florida man in 2015 walks into a Bank of America.
Okay.
And he tries to cash a check for $368 billion.
Okay, good for him. Okay.
The tellers alerted the sheriff's office, and the story is, according to moron.com, that, quote, Waters explained to bank officials that a homeless man named Tito Watts sold him the blank check several months ago for $100 and told Waters the check would clear for any amount of money that Waters wanted to write for it. So Waters wanted the $368 billion to start an Italian restaurant. He says...
They cost... That sounds about right?
He says it's always been a dream to own the best Italian restaurant in the earth, Waters told police.
Ooh, mamma mia.
I'm 10% Italian. Cooking authentic Italian food is in my blood. Yes. I had planned to make the restaurant 80 million square feet.
80 million square feet.
And able to accommodate 30 million eaters at once. Plus, it was going to be totally underwater. So people could look at sharks while they ate. But the bank...
Hell yeah, I'm trying to go.
I know. But the bank wouldn't give me my money they owed me. Tito said the check was good for any amount I wanted to write it for. So blame Tito, not me. I'm as innocent as a schoolgirl.
Truly.
In addition to a forgery count, it says that Waters was charged with unlawfully carrying Chinese throwing stars and possessing bath salts. He was released after posting $23,000 bail.
You know what? Give him the money.
Here's his mugshot and here's his check.
He was not
10%
fucking
Italian.
around. Honestly, Italian stallion. I love it.
He loves the mob wife aesthetic.
Yeah, he's actually really on trend right now. So I think they could take a lesson from him.
Imagine being able to have a restaurant that can seat 30 million people.
I think it's incredible.
I think that's great.
God.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. We went to the P.O. box.
Finally. Oh my God. Hello?
Hello.
Is this thing on? Oh my God. Holy shit. This one's from Australia.
What?
Look at the amount of stamps on here. There's 47 stamps.
Holy shit. That was probably expensive.
This was so... Can we Venmo you? Hold on.
Yeah.
Where's my cutting knife?
The one that I grabbed has paw prints all over it. Look how cute this card is, Spence.
Aww.
It says Spencer and Madison. Oh my God. Dear Spencer and Madison, hello. I was first introduced to you guys on an episode of Morbid, and I started listening to your podcast immediately. Your funny and genuine friendship was such a joy to listen to from day one. When I started listening, I had never actually lost anyone close to me. I had lost some acquaintances along the way and some older relatives when I was too young to remember, but I often wondered how I would actually deal with the loss of a loved one. Fast forward to August 19th, 2023. That day, I lost the love and light of my life, my dear sweet little dog, Dot. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I adopted her in 2012 when I was just 22. I probably had no business adopting a dog at that stage in my life, but I saw her and it was love at first sight. She was a rescue from Mississippi and just the cutest little bean I had ever seen. Aww. She taught me love, patience, and what it means to truly always be there for someone. She's been with me through multiple homes, relationships, and all the big life changes that happen in your 20s. I could go on and on about her forever, but I don't want to drag this out too much. When listening to Obituary, if I even heard a slight mention of the death of a pet, I would literally fast forward. I know, I get it. I couldn't even fathom the thought. Somehow in my mind, I had convinced myself that I would never lose her. But on August 17th of this year, she was diagnosed with lymphoma, and less than 48 hours later, she let us know she was ready to go. Oh, I felt complete devastation. I have never felt a loss like that in my entire life, and I wasn't sure how I would get through it. I'm just as bad at transitioning as Madison, so here's a part 2. I started making dog collar bows for Dot soon after I got her. She had an extensive collection by age 11. About a month after she passed, I started packing away my bow sewing supplies, thinking even if and when I rescued another dog, I would never be able to make bows for them because that was her thing. But I had so many supplies left and it felt wrong to just forget about them, so I began sewing. I have chills. I have since made and donated over 1,000 bows in her memory to no-kill shelters and animal rescues in my area, because who wouldn't want to adopt a dog with a pretty bow? While I was sewing, I re-listened to your entire podcast and it has helped me so much. I turn it on when I'm too depressed to do anything, and the two of you never fail to make me laugh or smile, and I want to give you both a big thank you for that. I have included as many bows as I could shove in this package for Desi, Doris, and Hot Dog, and I would love for you to keep some of them, give them to friends, or donate whatever you don't want to no-kill shelters. If you're too busy for that, I totally understand, but I wanted to send these to thank you for how much you've helped me over the past few months. I wish you both all the best, and of course, send my love to the babies. With love, from your longtime Geoffs, Sarah and Dot. P.S. Feel free to use mine and Dot's names, pictures included.
Oh my God, you're a fucking
We are
angel.
crying over here. Hold on, look at Dot. Look at how beautiful she is. Oh, look at her.
I love her like coloring.
I know.
And you're so cute too. You're an angel. That is such a kind thing, and we're not fucking too busy for that ever.
No, absolutely not. And we'll send you pictures of our babies in the these are beautiful. They have like leather straps. Look it. Okay, we have to figure out what's Hot Dog style, what's Desi style, what's Doris' style.
Oh my God, look at the little thing on them. It says from Dot with love on the bows. Like the little label.
Oh my God, there's holiday ones. These are so cool.
So sweet. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you. And we love you and Dot.
And for paying it forward like that and sending it to the no-kill shelters. That's so smart.
Absolutely. That is so smart.
Oh, this, because it's from Australia, they have to write what's in it. I saw one thing, but I don't want to read it. I want to be surprised.
Okay. Oh, on the customs form?
Yeah. Oh, baby.
Oh, no. Tim Tams?
Tim Tams.
Oh, shit.
Wagon wheels.
Holy moly.
Okay, Violet Crumble. We have to, okay, you know what we have to do is we have to do.
I love the Violet Crumbles.
We have to do a Patreon video trying all of this.
Yes.
Vegemite.
I've
always wanted to try it. We have to do, okay.
Oh my God.
We hope you're subscribed to our Patreon, whoever sent this. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry, I'm not even reading the cards. I opened it maybe a weird way.
Biscuits?
And then what are these?
Anzac biscuits.
Allen's Minties.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Minties?
These crackers. Shapes crackers for our Australia.
Chicken crimpy and barbecue. We could put Vegemite on it.
Is this Cadbury Caramilk Wallabies?
Oh my God.
You're destroying our diets.
That is okay.
Oh my God. Okay, I found a card underneath all of that.
When my siblings went to Australia, they came back with some stuff. This is like years ago, and I loved the Violet Crumble.
Okay. Dear Madison, Doris, and Desi. Oh wait, I got my own card.
He looked at me
I looked
like
at her like,
daggers. Okay, wait.
I'll read mine. Dear Spencer and Miss Hot wishing you both a sensational, Chrissy, and fabulous new year. Stay safe, celebrate life, and continue doing all that you do. We love you guys heaps. Love your loyal Aussie Geoffs, Mandy, Nikki, and Em. P.S. We hope you got the parcel before Christmas and that you enjoy some Aussie goodies. You know what? We're a little late, but we're fucking eating all of this.
We're fucking eating all of these.
We are going to go ham. And then wait, what is this? Oh my God, love Luca, the pups.
Oh, Luca.
So sweet.
What a cute. Wait, I want to read my card. Dear Madison, Doris, and Desi. Wishing you all an absolutely fabulous Chrissy and New Year. Stay safe, celebrate life, and continue being your awesome self. Love your loyal Geoffs from Oz. Nikki, Mandy, and Em. P.S. Some suggestions. Vegemite. Use sparingly. It's not a spread like jam and Nutella. Just use
It got British.
shrimp on a bob. Wait, shrimp on a bob.
No.
Just use a scraping on buttered toast or sanga, which is a sandwich. Tim Tams, just yum. Best biscuit ever. Google how to Tim Tam slam. Milo, great. Stirred in cold milk. Eat with chalky chocolate, froth off top. For hot drink, 2 big teaspoons with 1 sugar, boiling water, and then milk. I hope you're not offended by our voices.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for fucking sending us all of this. This is incredible. We're gonna do a Patreon where we try it all.
Hell yeah.
We'll do a video.
I'm gonna come to eat.
Yeah, baby. But if you have stuff you want to send us, please send it.
Please do.
Any Canadians got those ketchup chips again?
Oh, honey, those were
those?
fucking fire.
So good. You can send it to P.O. Box 18149, Long Beach, California 90807. But that is it for.
Oh, no, it's not it.
No, it's not it.
PRH.com/obituary, guys.
Oh, is that where you can get that new hot book?
Yeah.
Called The Big Hot Book of Death?
Yep.
Oh, how could I forget? Well, that's it for this week for real. We will see you all next week with some more coffin spinners
And obituaries.
dumb
Ask
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.